I don't know if you guys remember in the offseason, there were reports that Rico Dowdle would be the RB1 for the Dallas Cowboys. He seemed to be the guy leading the pack. Despite that, Ezekiel Elliott was drafted by a lot of people, right? He was drafted ahead of Rico Dowdle in most drafts. To start this season, we see Zeke get a lot of work. He's like the RB1. Tons of people go and they drop Rico Dowdle. It was like a complete exodus. Rico Dowdle was on the waiver wire in a lot of leagues. If your league was anything like mine, and you saw him on the waiver wire and you picked him up and you stuck with him, bro, because you remember those reports, you remember that he should be the guy. We see right away in week 2, week 3, week 4, and then in week 5, bro, the actual breakout. The Rico Dowdle has slowly climbed up and has become the running back one for the Dallas Cowboys. In this video, we're going to talk about Rico Dowdle. We're going to talk about his prospects moving forward, kind of his metrics, and just, I guess, discuss, his value moving forward. So without wasting any more time, let's hop into this video, man. As I mentioned, week 1 really shits the bed, really doesn't do much. Only gets 8 attempts, plays under 50% of the snaps. Zeke Elliott gets most of the work in that game. And we see in week 2, he gets a lot of receptions, but still not a lot of rushing attempts. But his yards per carry is pretty solid, 4.29. Week 3 against Baltimore, to be expected. It's a tough run D. Only gets 8 attempts for 32 yards. Still gets 5 receptions, but only 3 for 24. And then in week 4, I think a lot of hype, people were looking at the advanced metrics. We saw that he should be the main guy. Like we saw the slow takeover. And in week 4 against the Giants on Thursday night, goes 11 for 46. He's the clear lead back. Catches one pass for a touchdown. So ends up having a pretty solid day. If you started him, you're definitely happy. And the fucking momentum was building for Rico Dowdle, man. And in week 5 against Pittsburgh, a stout run D. I was worried. I had him on my team. I wasn't sure if I should start him or not. I ended up not starting him. I still won my matchup, but I ended up not starting him at my last flex spot. He ends up absolutely beasting and feasting against the Pittsburgh stout run D, bro. So as I mentioned, dude, he took over this Dallas RB1 spot. He ends up getting another receiving touchdown off a really nice, kind of like a boot action play by Dak. Finds him in the corner of the end zone, gets the touchdown, huge play. Dak runs up to him. They're fucking high-fiving each other. I think they probably kiss. Maybe there's a little bit of tongue involved. I'm not sure. Epic moment, dude. A moment you want to see if you're somebody who owns Rico Dowdle, right? So let's talk about Rico Dowdle, dude, moving forward. Is this going to sustain? Is this going to be the case moving forward? I think yes. Now, caveat. He did almost fumble the game away. Are they going to put him in the doghouse for that? I think not, because they end up not losing the fumble, and then Dak throws the touchdown to Jalen Tolbert right after that. I think his job's secure moving forward. I think he's going to be the RB1 moving forward. If you can find a dude in your league who's got Rico Dowdle on his team, and this dude is 1-4, maybe 2-3, maybe he owes you a favor, maybe he owes you $5 or $10, and instead of cashing in on it, you're like, yo, let's talk Rico Dowdle. You can forget about that $10 that I gave you. Forget about that Chipotle bowl that I bought you the other day. Why don't you just send Rico Dowdle my way? Right? So moving down at the rest of season rankings. I like to look at rest of season. I don't know how they really track it. It's mostly strength of schedule, the opposing defense, maybe rate of play, the current offensive scheme, the offensive line, health, injuries. They factor a bunch of stuff and they have these rest of season rankings. And you see here that Rico Dowdle is 27th. He moved up 17 spots over the last week. And this column here with the stars on the left side is the strength of schedule for the fantasy season, the regular season. And he's got a 3 out of 5 in terms of difficulty. So not too bad. Actually, in my opinion, 3 or higher is actually pretty good on these types of lists. And then in the playoffs, he's got 4 out of 5. So in the playoffs, he actually has a really nice schedule against running defenses. So Rico Dowdle shooting up rest of the season rankings, something that we like to see. I found this other chart on Twitter. It's basically yards before contact and yards after contact. So interesting little chart. You see here on the y-axis, it's yards after contact and then yards before. So basically, anyone on this yards before contact, in my opinion, the way that I like to read this list is the offensive line giving them enough space so that they're not even getting contact. So for example, J.K. Dobbins all the way over here at almost 4 yards before contact, meaning the offensive line is just opening up massive gaps for him. And we knew that going into the season. I did mention before the season, the Chargers offensive line should be really good. But free focusing out on Rico Dowdle. He's essentially dab in the middle, dude. Right in the middle of this chart, almost. He's got just under 2 yards before contact, meaning the offensive line is not great, but it's okay. And when it comes to yards after contact, he's also doing about middle of the pack, right? Like a little bit under the average. So that's what we like to see, man. He's, on average when it comes to the offensive line or just his ability to like find the right gaps. It's not just whether the offensive line is working well for him. It's also, is he actually like making the right decision and choosing the right gap or being patient? Like there's a lot of reasons for, yards before contact. I actually be super serious if somebody in the comment section wants to let me know, like, in your opinion, what is yards before contact really telling us? Is it about the offensive line? Is it the running back? I want to hear what you guys think, but he's essentially middle of the pack in both of those. So that's fine, right? It's not perfect. It's not great. You probably want dudes in this section over here, right? Like the Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry, Saquon. That means not only is the O-line good, but, they are also doing well after contact. So these are his weekly snap shares. Again, even going into week 4, we kind of saw this uptrend. 44% snaps with 9 touches, and then 43-11, 46-11, 45-12. Then in week 5, the takeover was complete. 50% of the snaps with 22 touches, bro. 22 opportunities for a guy only getting 50% of the snaps. Imagine when those snaps even go up. And Mike McCarthy actually had a funny thing to say about him in the post-game presser. He said, Rico Dowdle is a bowling ball full of butcher knives. That's his running style. So I'm not sure if that's a compliment. I think it is. Like, if anyone else wants to decipher that Da Vinci code, I'd be down to hear what you guys think. But moving forward, I'm super excited about Rico Dowdle. I think he's taken over this offense. I think he can give us, like, Tony Pollard of last season's production. Like, I think you can expect, like, an RB2 with upside moving forward. Like, I truly do believe that. And if you can buy him from a team in your league who's, down bad, down horrendous, send him some absolute dog shit trades to try to get Rico Dowdle, because I think he's got a lot of ceiling in this like high powered, pass first Dallas offense. Maybe pass first isn't the right way to put it, but a high octane offense that can put points on the board. So hope you guys like this video, man. If you do, why don't you hit me with a like, dude? If you're new here, hit me with the subscribe and that noti bell. The fucking noti bell, dude, that's so cringe. Hit me with the notification bell so that you do catch all the videos that I do publish, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.